Right, hello ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to the domain of the geriatric collector. Oh, Mr. Trick there, I should have add that as my username. Geriatric collector sounds good, doesn't it? Okay, any of you who caught the last vid will remember that I did catch-up vid on PS4 Steelbooks, stuff that I picked up since the previous video. There weren't too many of them. So today I'm going to do the same, but with Blu-ray movie steelbooks that I've picked up. It's been a while since I did the videos, way back end of last year actually. So I have quite a few to show you. But I mean, apart from quantity, there's some good quality in here, which I'm quite pleased about. You know, some older scarcer steelies that I've been looking for a while. So, without any further ado, we'll get into it. Just before I start, apologies to the gamers, in case you were hoping for another video on some aspect of gaming, but after this one, it'll be gaming all the way until I've got enough movie steelbooks to warrant another video. But before we start, just a quick word. I'd appreciate, as usual, any comments that you might have and any likes that you might want to click on, but mainly if any of you are enjoying these videos and you haven't subscribed yet, I'd be appreciated, because I'm cracking towards 200 now, and although as I said last video, I've got fairly fairly modest expectations, you know, to hit 200 would chuff me. So if you wouldn't mind. Okay, without any further ado, I'll get into the stuff. Okay, here we go. I've been trying to get this for a while. Zavvi had it up, and then when I ordered it, they said, oh, we've run out of it. And then they had it back up again, and I managed to get it fairly reasonably priced. I actually watched it a couple of weeks ago, and not very good, really. You know, when you compare it to the current crop of Marvel picks, but I suppose it was a product of its time. You know, Dolph Lundgren, he's a bit like Arnie. You know, he's not the greatest actor in the world, but he's got a presence. But yeah, I like that steelbook. It's it's got a nice image there, and you've got good old Dolph looking menacing on the back. So yeah, I was happy to get that one. It was less than a tenner, £8 or something. So brand new, you can't complain. Right, now, because with Christmas and my birthday being in between the last video and this one, I've had a few bought for me. Now, to my eternal shame, I call myself a film fan, but I've never actually watched Deliverance, believe it or not. There again, as I say, it was bought as a present, so I'm quite happy to have it. It's still sealed, as you can see, but I will get around to watching it, so I can't talk too much about that because I haven't seen it. This was another one that was purchased for me either at Christmas or shortly after Christmas for my birthday. Your next some sort of horror flick, but yeah, I mean, it's quite nice. Again, sealed. I haven't actually watched it yet, but when I get a bit of time, it's another one I'll get round to. Right, here we go with Zavvi and their exclusives. This is a film I have seen, because I think I might have mentioned last time I'm a big fan of Eva Green. I wasn't greatly enamoured with it. It was okay, but I don't know. There was just something about the genre, if you like. Although Eva Green, you know, was good in it. I didn't quite click with it, but it's a very nice steelbook. Unusual because it hasn't got the little catch at the bottom, you know, that catches the vid as it falls in. It's got it in the middle, which is rather odd. But it's a very nice steelbook, I have to say. Very nice price as well, as I remember. But if you want them, you've got to pay for them. You know, sometimes it's wise to wait for a price drop, but it was a film that I felt that I needed, so got it. Right. Sorry, I've still got bits of my dinner floating around here. Beg your pardon. Yeah. Classic Bela Lugosi's Dracula. Any horror fans, don't need me to tell you anything about this. Even if you're not a horror fan, you don't need me to tell you anything about it. Zavvi did 3 of the old horror classics. There was that one, Dracula, and then they did Boris Karloff's The Mummy. Can't say I'm a big fan of that one, but the original Dracula I quite like. And I forget what the other one was. It was the Wolfman or the Creature from the Black Lagoon or something. Memory lets me down there, but yeah. So now let's pass on to a classic, Bruce Lee Enter the Dragon. I think anybody who's into martial arts films or the old stuff that they did in when did they start? The 70s, didn't they? The martial arts films from China and Japan. I think the first one I ever saw, I think it was the first one that came over here in the cinema, was the one-handed boxer or something. That's probably not the right title, but it was something like that. Yeah, I mean, I don't know about this. I think I picked it up second-hand in Kex a while back. I'm not sure whose exclusive it was, if anybody's, but certainly a nice one to have, and it's one of those nice embossed. You probably can't see it there, but yeah, the dragon's embossed, so it's very nice steelbook, and as I say, one that I'm happy to have in the collection. Yeah, this one I waited for a price drop. I saw the picture of it on Zavvi. I thought, well, that looks nice, and I've got the lenticular version of it, which as you know from the other video I did, I also collect lenticulars. And yeah, I waited for a price drop on this one. It was a horrendous price when it came out, but I dropped to about £9, and I think they had a 10% off day, so you know, it cost us just over £8, free postage. So I was quite happy with that. It's I don't mind Vin Diesel. You know, a lot of people plunk him in the same category as Arnie and Dolph Lundgren, who we saw earlier, but I don't mind him. You know, the Fast and Furious films are great. You know, you can't wish for any more entertainment. That was, I don't know, that film was a bit more. Although this is sealed, I have seen the film prior. It was a bit more generic, and it wasn't. I mean, you know, Michael Caine was in it, as I remember. Vin Diesel again. I can't remember anybody else that was in it, but yeah, I mean, I would stick it, you know, round about the 6 or 7 out of 10 mark. But it's a nice steelbook anyway. Right, now I've showed you the first Maze Runner Steelbook in the last video I did. That's the sequel, The Scorched Trials. I suppose it's a little bit stylised. You know, I like stylised in a steelbook, but it's not stylised in a way that I would say was dynamic or interesting. And to my eternal annoyance, I mean, why they produce steelbooks? What's that all about? It's just lazy. And then the inside is even lazier because it's not very good at all. Yeah, so I only picked that up because it was relatively cheap, and I've got the first film, so I thought, why not? Now, this is one I've been chasing for a while. That's the original Planet of the Apes film with Charlton Heston back in the 60s, I believe, late 60s. If not late 60s, early 70s. I lose track of dates these days. Time passes that quick. But yeah, that was, I mean, I've always been a science fiction fan. Anything to do with spaceships or time travel or traveling another way. And this was the first film I can remember going to the cinema where it had a twist ending. You know, an ending that sort of like made you go, wow. I mean, I'm not going to, if anybody hasn't seen the film and they're planning to, I'm not going to throw in any spoilers. But yeah, so I've got that's a real nostalgia item for me. And also, I believe the Steelbook went out of print a while back, so it was very cheap, about £10 or something. So yeah, I'm having that. So I was definitely pleased to find that one. Right, here's the sequel to Alice in Wonderland, Alice Through the Looking Glass. I didn't mind this actually. I went to see it in IMAX. You know, I'm fortunate enough to live within reasonable distance of an IMAX cinema, which probably a lot of you aren't. There's not many of them about around the country, but yeah, I quite enjoyed that. It was visually quite stunning, and the Steelbook's very nice indeed. I mean, I paid full whack for it because it's another one of those where I wasn't sure if it would sell out or what, but yeah, I went for it. I don't think it has sold out. I think buy it probably quite a bit cheaper than I paid for it, but them's the breaks, folks. Some you win, some you lose. But it is a very nice steelbook, in fact. And I thought of doing this, obviously. Oops, wrong way around. Sorry, guys. There you go. It's quite similar. Yeah, the only annoying thing is that there's no title on the spine, which I don't know why they do that. Marvel started doing that with they did it with the Age of Ultron or something, and that really got my goat. But yeah, it's a nice film, nice steelbook. Have a look on Zavvi. It's fairly cheap. Now, talking of IMAX, The Walk. I've actually seen this film, not this particular copy, but I've seen it. And it was on at the IMAX, and I chose not to go and see it because I knew that if I go and see it, I would get vertigo. Because I remember going to see the King Kong film before, Skull Island, the dodgy one, and there was a scene up in the air where the camera revolved around the top of the building where King Kong was trying to escape everybody, and oh man, I was ill. I was ill with vertigo. I had to close my eyes and nearly had to walk out the cinema. So I chose not to go and see that in IMAX for obvious reasons, but it is a very interesting film. It is a very interesting steelbook, actually. I don't know what's on the back cover because it's got the slip over thing, but that's quite an evocative scene of the guy top down walking across wherever it was he was walking. I can't remember offhand now, but yeah, it's a good film and a nice steelbook. There again, it's come down a bit in price, so it was bought for me, so I didn't pay for it. Right, now it is a film that kind of divides people. I know a lot of people went to see it and thought it was rubbish. I went to see it again in IMAX and I thought it was pretty decent. This is the sold out Steelbook from Zavvi. It's rather curious this actually, because although Zavvi sold out, they have got it back in a 1,000 copy edition. So whether they've decided to reprint it for some reason, it very rarely happens. I mean, I know Zavvi have reprinted other people's exclusives, as with the first Star Trek film. You know, it was I think it was a Play.com exclusive originally, and then with 3 discs, and they reprinted it. Zavvi reprinted it with exactly the same cover, but with a 1 disc. But it's the first time I've ever seen Zavvi reprint one of their own exclusives, so I don't know what's going on there. A lot of people who bought it thinking it's going to be rare because it's sold out are going to be disappointed because there's another 1,000 on the market. But yeah, as you can see, it's got the black and white version of the film as well, so it's quite a nice steelbook. I quite enjoyed the film. It's one of those that's stuck down at the back, so I'm afraid you'll have to do without a few of the back cover because those sticky things take forever to get sorted out. Oops, we're getting stuck here. The trouble with these covers, they drive you wild, they get mixed up. Right, okay, now, yeah, I had a look at this because it's science fiction. Can never remember whether it's Grace Chloe Moretz. I think it is, isn't it? Yeah, or is it Chloe Grace Moretz? No, I think it's whatever. Anyway, Miss Moretz, I quite like. Always have since the what do you call them? Kick-ass films that she did when she was very young, and I thought she was absolutely great in those. So I've more or less followed her career, you know, through all the films she's done since then. This one is not a bad film, but it's you get that feeling of deja vu with it, that you've seen similar films and this hasn't really done it any better. But you know, I'd give it a 7 out of 10. It was perfectly watchable. It was quite expensive at HMV. I think HMV exclusive. It's quite expensive there, and now it's even more expensive. But I bought this. As you can see, there's a bit of slight bit of damage on the jacket there. But I got that for about 10 or 8 quid or something. So I'm not complaining. Okay, now I haven't got many of these Mondo editions. I think I've got the Reservoir Dogs one, but which is getting expensive now. That's the Labyrinth edition. I've seen the film. As you say, this is still sealed. It was bought for me because my daughter loves this film, so she thought she'd buy the Steelbook for me, which was very considerate. But I'm quite happy, you know. People buy me Steelbooks. I couldn't care less what they are. Steelbooks are Steelbook to me. I mean, obviously when I'm looking for stuff, I go for stuff that I'm interested in, but I'm quite happy to get them bought for me. So yeah, that was the Labyrinth Mondo. There's a few of these Mondo ones that I haven't got, but we'll get round to it. All right, get sorted out here. Okay, now this is apparently, I've not seen it. This is apparently a very strange film. There again, it was a Zavvi exclusive, and I wasn't sure if it'd sell out or not, so I thought I'll take a punt and I'll buy it new. Don't it's come down in price any, so it doesn't really bother me at the moment. But yeah, the Human Centipede. It's firmly an adult film. Apparently, it's got some pretty gruesome stuff in it. I'm not a big fan of that sort of gear, you know, but yeah, I'll maybe get round to watching it when I've finished watching the millions of others that I've still got lined up. Okay, yes, good old Tim Burton. Yeah, we all like Tim, don't we? Yeah, he's hit and miss, I know, Tim, but You know, this is sort of like harking back to his original job, you know, as an animator. Corpse Bride, Johnny Depp doing the voice. I've got to say, I'm not a big fan of any sort of animated, but if I were to watch any, the Tim Burton style, like Nightmare Before Christmas, I quite liked. That's the sort of stuff that I would prefer to watch. So that was another gift. Not complaining. Now, talking of gifts, the next one we have is yet another gift. I'm doing well, am I? For gifts. Yeah, now that was bought for me not because I'm particularly a horror fan, but because I like red, purple, gold, silver Steelbooks. And as you can see, that's nice and red. So yeah, I was quite happy to get that. It's a decent enough Steelbook. There again, it's not the sort of film that I would actively go out and watch or clamour to watch, if you like, but I'll get round to it. But nice Steelbook nevertheless. Now, there's another film that I went to see in IMAX. Didn't get very good reviews. 'Twas an HMV exclusive, I think. Actually, HMV are back in the game now when it comes to exclusives. You know, they've got a few lined up, quite high-profile films lined up. I've pre-ordered them, in fact. So yeah, it's got sort of like very mediocre reviews. Sort of like five to six on Rotten Tomatoes or in IMDb, whatever one you want to pick. I didn't think it was that bad. I think it was that good. But, you know, I'd have rolled it around the 6.5 to 7 mark, you know, which is, you know, not bad. I mean, to me, a bad film's 3 and 4 out of 10. That's what I would qualify as a dodgy film. But yeah, I mean, it's quite a nice Steelbook actually. But yeah, if you haven't seen it, so I saw it in IMAX. So maybe I find that a lot of IMAX films look a lot better when you can't see them than they do at home. But if you haven't seen it, give it a watch. Right now, weird story attached to this one actually. It's although I've got all the Star Trek Steelbooks for the individual films. This is the three new Star Trek films. You know, the reboots, all in one. Now, I won't bore you too long with this story, but basically, Zavvi advertised a deluxe collector's edition. So I thought, oh, Star Trek deluxe collector's edition. I'll have some of that. But it turned out to be a bit of a con because they do. Anybody who deals with Zavvi goes on will have seen them. They do things called Zboxes where they send you out a box with a lot of merchandising in, and the merchandising will be themed. You know, it'll be Marvel or DC or blah blah horror, this, that, and the other. You know, so I mean, I actually bought, because I'm a big Star Trek fan. I actually bought the Zbox, and it came with a load of mugs and crap. You know, pardon the expression, but that's what it was. So I thought, okay, you know, put that down to experience. I won't buy any more of those. When I complained about not getting the deluxe edition, they said, "Oh, it's coming with the Steelbook." Well, the Steelbook turned up, which is this, and no deluxe edition with it. So I kept writing them, bugging them, and in the end, it turned out that the deluxe edition was this, plus the Zbox that I'd already bought. So I was less than pleased, quite frankly. So I wrote them and said, you know, this is a con. I'm not really happy with this. And I said, apart from which, the second Zbox that I got, I said, I've already bought the Zbox, by the way. The second one I got that was supposed to be the deluxe edition with this was dented on the top. So, you know, two reasons I wouldn't want it. So they then wrote me back and said, "Oh, send us a picture." They were more interested in the fact that it was dented. So anyway, we got it all sorted out, and I sent the dented one back at their cost. But in the meantime, they'd forgotten that they'd already sent me this, and they gave me a full refund for the lot. So I actually got that for nothing. So there you go. Funny story. You can sometimes win. Happy days, but that's all that is basically. It's just the three new films. So free Steelbook. Love them. Okay, yeah, here's a weird one. A horror western. As you can see, it's gold. I love gold. That again was a present to me for birthday. I think it was. It's a fairly gruesome Western horror. I quite enjoyed it actually, although I'm not the biggest fan of horror films. I do like the odd Western, especially the old ones with Clint Eastwood and stuff. But yeah, that was Kurt Russell. He was the main guy in that film, and it's a couple of hours. Well, it's over a couple of hours long, but it's interesting, that one. But as I say, the Steelbook is very nice, even if the back cover's not quite as entertaining as the front cover there, which I think's sensational. That I really like that. That is one of my favourite Steelbooks of 2017 so far, I've got to say. Nicer if you see it in the flesh, so to speak, but take my word for it. It's very nice. Right, now here we come. The Project Pop Arts. I love these things. Zavvi do these. The reason I've got that in isolation, even though there was a 4-film series of pop art books. They did all the films except the first one as a Project Pop Art, but I've already got the others as Steelbooks already, so I didn't actually buy the other 3, but I'm patiently waiting for a price drop on them, which should be coming along shortly. I think they'll probably do a deal where you buy all 4 or 3 of them, so I'm hoping it's like 3 for 30 or something stupid like that, in which case I can get the other 3 that I need. But these are the other 3 in this set are really nice. This is probably the least of them actually. The other 3 are really nice. So I'm just waiting. Actually, I enjoy the although they're not the greatest films in the world, I actually enjoy the Resident Evil films. Got no problems with them whatsoever. Right, that was another pop art that was bought for me as a present. Bridge on the River Kwai, famous old war film. I have seen the film way back. I haven't seen it for donkey's years. As you can see, that's still sealed, so I haven't rewatched it, but I will. It's a classic. Now these 2, both pop arts I'm going to show you next, are really nice. Desperado, I think it's Robert Rodriguez, probably be somewhere in the region of Machete, stuff like that, I would imagine. But it's a really nice Steelbook. I do like that. Probably my second or third favourite Steelbook or maybe 4th when I come to think of it. But yeah, I don't know anything about the film, so I'm afraid I can't fill you in on any details. But yeah. That's and then finally the pop arts. Very pleased. All these were bought for me, by the way, apart from the Resident Evil one. So very happy with those. Yeah, it's the Kung Fu Hustle. I've seen that, even though that's sealed. I've seen the film, and it's that spoof kind of. I don't know what it's a spoof on, really. It's totally off the wall. It's out there, man. But yeah, that's why I like these Project Pop Art Steelbooks. They're so weird and colourful and just lovely, yeah. So another present. So I'm quite happy. Now this is probably probably my second favourite Steelbook of the year, Doctor Strange. Yeah, it was pretty well received as I remember. I quite enjoyed it. It was another IMAX jobby, so obviously you get the benefit of the IMAX experience. It was a kind of a really surreal kind of experience. This film, all sorts going on, but yeah, that's the Eye of Agamotto, which any of you have been following the Avengers films or the Marvel Universe films will know it's one of the Infinity Gems. Oh, sorry if that's a spoiler. Sorry, guys. For the Infinity War that's coming up. So yeah, that's a really lovely steelbook. It's embossed as well. You probably can't see it too well, but it's embossed, and then you've got this decent back cover with all the symbols all around, and then inside it's a two-discer, and so you've got all the symbols again. It's a really nice steelbook. There again, I think that was another Zavvi exclusive, but that's long out of print, that one, so don't even bother looking for that, and it'll probably cost you a few bob on eBay. So if you haven't got it, you have to do without it, unless you've got a few bob. Now this is Arrival, another sort of alien contact film. It's probably, I think I'm right in saying it's probably, oh no, sorry, it's one of two films that I've not seen in IMAX since I started going to the IMAX cinema. But having said that, it wasn't too bad in normal O-Vision, if you like, in the cinema. Quite an interesting film, actually. It treated the subject with some science, and some common sense. And yeah, I quite enjoyed it. I actually enjoyed it again when I watched the Blu-ray when it popped through the letterbox. So yeah, it's one I would recommend to you. It's the symbols that the aliens use to communicate with us. Basically, that is. And then inside you've got the alien ship. So yeah, it's quite a nice steelbook. I elected to pre-order it just in case it sold out, but I don't think it did. So anyway, that's one to watch if you haven't seen it, to be certain. Okay, now the next few I'm going to show you. There's a little bit of a story attached to these as well. What happened was I went to one of my local kexes. I mean, I'm lucky enough to live within busing. I mean, I use the bus because I get a free ride. I'm lucky to live within busing distance of about 5 kex used stores, or CEX, whatever you call them. So I'm able to sort of get around, and see a lot of used games and Blu-ray videos. And I rolled up in one of them one day and looked, oh, blimey, there's a lot there. And it turns out that some guy had been in a few days prior, or a week or so prior, and he sold his collection of 300, which was good for me in one way, but not so good in that I wish I'd been in a week earlier and got, a lot of the real bargains, or more of the real bargains, should I say. But nevertheless, this kind of thing I'm going to show, these films I'm going to show you now, kind of sum up my philosophy on collecting, because I've been at it since I was a young kid, so I've been collecting for way over 60 years, in one form or another, comics, whatever, books, cigarette cards, you name it, I've collected it. And my attitude or my philosophy towards collecting is, you don't need a pot of money to pick up the scarcer stuff all you need is patience. So just wait. You know, I mean, I just come from a working class background, so I've always sort of like had, you know, enough money to get by on, but not a massive amount. So that's always been my attitude. Just don't rush out and fling all your pennies at stuff just because you want it, and just because it's 30 quid or 40 quid. Just wait, and then you might pick up something like this for £8. That was a Zavvi exclusive that sold out of print ages ago, and you know, you go online now and it's, you know, it's a few bob, but I managed to find that for £8. Not many people will be able to find that for £8, but as I say, it's just a matter of luck, circumstance, and just being patient. Good film, actually. I think it's probably the earliest film I saw Jessica Chastain in. I quite like her as an actress. If any of you get a chance to see her latest film, Miss Sloane, I will recommend it to you because it's an acting masterclass, actually. But yeah, I mean, I love Tom Hardy. I like Jessica Chastain. Guy Pearce is in it. He always does he plays a great character in this, by the way. And he's always a good turn. So yeah, I mean, if you haven't seen this film and you get a chance, do have a look. But as I say, you'll pay more than £8 for that, unfortunately. But just buy the normal copy if you want to watch it. Right, now this next one did cost me. It was from the same batch. These next four I'm going to show you are all from the same batch. This guy that sold them out of his 300 collection. This is the 3 Star Wars films. This is the sequel prequel films. You know, I've already got the other one, so I was anxious to get this. Now it cost me 32 quid used. It might seem a lot, but not when you have a look. I mean, I know on Amazon it's fairly expensive. You know, it's up in the 60s. I've seen it on eBay a bit cheaper, but then again, you've got to be on eBay to find it, and then you've got to be, you know, hope that somebody doesn't outbid you again. So, you know, even though it's sold for maybe it's 40, 45 quid, doesn't mean to say you would have got it for that, because somebody might have kept bidding against you. But yeah, I mean, I'm quite happy because I got the first set of films, the old set of films for 18 quid in the Steelbook. So 50 quid for the two, that's an average of 25. That's very, very cheap for those. So I jumped on that one, even though it was megabucks. Didn't care because, as I say, to have the pair of them for 50 quid. Yeah, thanks very much. Right, now that's a scarce one. It's long out of print. It was a Play.com exclusive, actually, and Play.com have been out of existence as Play.com. I think they're probably knocking about under a different name, but I mean, Play.com used to be famous for its exclusives, and a lot of them used to go out of print very quickly, and that's quite expensive now. If you even used, if you can find one, it's quite expensive. There again, it's another 8 quid jobby. So it's probably missing its. I don't know. It might not be, because some didn't. Some Play.com films just came like that. It might be missing its little flappy over thing or whatever you call them. But yeah, I was happy with that, because it's quite scarce now. And this one, another cheapo, around about 7 or 8 quid mark. I don't know if it's an HMV exclusive. That's where I first saw it. Elected not to buy it because it was like 20 odd quid. But it's not cheap. Online now, Man with the Iron Fist. I've seen it. It's not a bad film, but nothing brilliant. But certainly the Steelbook's well worth having. It's well worth having, actually. I just remembered. I'll just flip that over. It's worth having for the back cover, because That's very nice. I like that. I wish that was on the front. I mean, the front's not too bad. You can see like 2/3 of it there, but yeah, so £7 or whatever it was. Thank you very much. Yeah, this one was quite cheap, about £5, I think. It's one of those premium collections. Warner Brothers, was it? Premium, was it Warner Brothers? I can't remember offhand. Yeah, it is. Warner Brothers did a big series of premium collections. They've all got white. I mean, this is like a 4K, but a lot of these got white backgrounds, stuff like Troy, stuff like that. They did quite a few. Matrix, I think. Yeah, I mean, they're not cheap now, some of these premium collections, and I say that was stuck in there at the same price as the ordinary Blu-ray, so I think about £5 or something, which is ridiculous. But as I say, there again, it shows you what a bit of patience and a bit of legwork can do. Okay, now this is the recent Star Wars film. Saw this in IMAX, then watched it as soon as I got it. And I must admit, it lost a lot just in Blu-ray. The IMAX experience was definitely one to have with this. It's sold out at Zavvi, so it's another one that's just going to go up and up in price, being Star Wars. But yeah, I can't say I was enamoured with it the second time I watched it. But as I say, it's the IMAX effect. Now, don't really know what I'm doing with this. Just because it's a Steelbook, really. I mean, it's one of these massive Steelbooks. It's got about 53 discs in there. Extended edition. It's like a breeze block, some weight. It's the Lord of the Rings Fellowship of the Ring. Obviously, I'll have to try and get the other two. But that was only a £5. It's got masses of material in there. I mean, there's probably days of viewing. Just in that box alone, and then you've got the other two films, which I'll try and get, but for a £5, I couldn't turn that down. I mean, all the discs are present and correct. Not the greatest Steelbook I've ever seen, but as I say, for a £5, I'm not complaining at all. I didn't particularly enjoy the film when I went to see it at the cinema, but what the hell. Right, this is one of the older Batman films. Tim Burton did the first two, and then can't remember the guy who did the other two, but Joel Schumacher. Yeah, I just see him on the back there. There's 4 of these in a set. There's the two Tim Burton ones, which I've got, and the 2 Joel Schumacher films. I think I'm missing the previous one to this. Can't remember its name offhand. It's not listed on the back here, so. But anyway, yeah, I've got 3 out of the 4 now, and that was fairly cheap, as I remember. Can get quite expensive these now, actually, the older Batman films. But yeah, I was quite happy to pick that one up. Here's another film that got a good kick in critically. Sort these out there. Right, yeah, got a good kick in critically. I'd like to give the Steelbook a good kick in, actually, because that is bloody horrible. I mean, okay, stick that on the front with a big 4 in the middle, but I don't know where these people who design these things, I don't know where they went to school, but it's not my idea of fun, but it was cheapish. I know HMV had it in for quite a while at £20, but that was less than half of that. So, I mean, I didn't mind the film. It got panned, but I didn't think it was too bad. Seemed worse. Okay, I'm just a bit of trouble here. Excuse me one moment. All these stupid wraparound things are starting to clog up. Right, okay. Right, you have to excuse me a minute, I'm losing my voice, all this talking. Alright, that's better. Okay, yeah, now, I saw this film quite recently. It's typical Tom Cruise sort of spy stuff, bit similar to the Mission Impossibles. I didn't mind it, solid 7 out of 10, good fun, a couple of hours long. But I'm not sure whether this sold out or not. I think it might have done. But I know the first Jack Reacher film is a bugger to find at a decent price, so I'm still looking for that. But if you haven't seen it, yeah, it's worth a look. Right now, this next one was I'm not sure if this was a Zavvi exclusive or not, but I know it's on Zavvi as sold out. I don't know, it was about 20 quid when it came out, and I picked that up for about 8. I seem to pick up a lot of films from Kex, CEX, whatever you want to call them, for around about the 7 to 8 quid mark. Although their prices are going up, they've come to the conclusion that Steelbooks are the thing for collectors of the future. So they're jacking some of the prices up. Gone are the days when you could walk in, and buy, as I did, buy the old Thor Steelbook for a tenner. They'd be slapping about 40 quid on that now. But that's a film I've seen and quite enjoyed. So it's out of print at a decent price. So I thought, yeah, let's go for it. Right, we're coming towards the back end now. So that was the Transformers Dark of the Moon. It's missing the little jacket thing. I don't mind Transformers films, and that Steelbook is, it's not the hardest one to find in the world, but it's not the easiest either. It was 6 quid. I just bought it a couple of weeks ago for 6 quid, so not complaining. But anybody who's seen them knows what they are. They're all the same Transformers films. Now, talking as I was earlier about Rogue One not being as nice on the screen as I remember it being in IMAX, this was another one I went to see in IMAX. Now, I thought this was cinematically superb at the cinema, but I rewatched it, I don't know, last week, maybe it was the week before. I nearly fell asleep. I don't mind the Harry Potter films. Obviously, this is a fantastic beast and where to find them. This is a spin-off. But it's based on a very slim volume, and I thought when I watched it a second time, it did look a bit like padding. I dare say the Steelbook will sell out at some point, being a big franchise. But no, I didn't. I can't say that I enjoyed it on second viewing. Now this one I just got. This just plopped through the post yesterday. This is the Mummy series, the original colour Mummy series with Brendan Fraser. I didn't mind these at the time. The special effects are a bit dodgy these days, but they're good adventure flicks. But this is a particularly nice Steelbook because you probably won't be able to see properly here, but the star is on there, the star in the middle there is debossed, and then the Mummy trilogy is embossed, so you got both effects. As I say, it only came yesterday, so I haven't unsealed it yet. I'll probably get round to watching the 3 films at some point, but that's still available on Zavvi if you're a fan of the old Mummy film and you like a really nice Steelbook. It does look really nice actually, even though it's still sealed. And then finally, when I picked up that lot from the guy's collection, I just have to prop these up so they don't fall over. I actually picked up this as well. It's the Star Trek Collected Edition. It's got a variant Star Trek Steelbook in there and a replica of the ship, the villain ship, all packed in a neat little box here. If I can get it open, I'll just show you the. I'll get it open. No, I won't bother. Anyway, you can see most of the the steelbook there. I can't be bothered unpacking it all. It looks like one of these complicated jobbies, but yeah, I mean that was only about 20 quid, I think. So compared to its original price, which it was probably about double that, I thought, yeah, we'll have some of that. Now, just finish off here. This was one that I didn't. It's not something new I've got, but I actually forgot to show it last time. It's Steelpack. You know, a lot of the video games these days are not coming in steelbooks; they're coming in steel packs. Well, I've got nothing against them personally, even though I collect steelbooks. Some of these are very nice, and the reason that I've got this is because A, it was fairly cheap, and B, because I'm a big fan of the film. Terry Gilliam, you know, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. It's hilarious, man. It's a funny film. So yeah, I just thought I'd show you that as an example of a steel pack. So if you're into steelbooks and you only want steelbooks, be careful when you're buying some of the stuff now, because just make sure it is a steelbook and not a pack, because some people are not happy with these, but I don't mind. Yeah. So okay, that's all the pickups I've had since the last video I showed you. As I say, from here on in, I'll be concentrating on games now. I've got a few bits and pieces in mind for subject matter. So yeah, thanks for watching once again, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Goodbye.